Welcome back to your favorite Sacramento sports show.
Beam City Sports.
Yes, sir. We are back in the studio live on 96.5 FM. Got the boys with me, Luke, Devin. How we feeling?
Feeling good. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like throwing them foes up because we on a 4-game win streak right now.
Yes, sir. 4-game win streak. Dev, how you feeling?
Good. Same as always. Game day, always a good day. Radio day, always a good day.
Yes, sir.
Hyped up.
Yes, sir.
We hyped. We hyped.
We got some new shirts for Beam City Sports. The black looks clean.
Yes, sir.
Give those out if you leave a comment on the video. So go do that right now.
Show your support. Show all that, man.
Also, go subscribe on YouTube if you're listening on YouTube. And if you're listening on the radio, thank you once again. But yeah, we will jump into the Kings' 4-game win streak today. Also, Zach LaVine won Player of the Week in the Western Conference. Our guy, Young Hollywood, leading the Kings to a 3-0 week. And, you know, he's just balling, man. It's good to see Zach hitting some shots from deep. And, yeah, it's just really unlocking this team right now.
First time in his career that he's won a Western Conference or a Player of the Week award.
Yeah.
I think he was in the East, too.
Shout out, Zach. Also, we will be going over Luke's Lock of the Week, as always. ICU, Dev's disappointment, and then we'll go around the NBA last night. A lot of games. We'll make some predictions for upcoming games as well. And then the main topic will be which stars are under the most pressure in this playoffs coming up. Got a couple names down. You know, all these young stars are finally getting to the level where they're reaching the time where some pressure is going to be put on them this playoffs.
Yeah.
So
Sir.
it's going to be really fun playoffs.
It's the new generation starting to step in, and
Yeah, it really is. You still got the old goats like LeBron and Steph, you know, holding the grounds down, and then the young guys coming up like Shai and all that. So it's going to be a fun playoffs. About 20 games left in the regular season. So really excited to see what this Kings team can do down the stretch. Tough schedule coming up, but I'm confident in this team, man. I think we're ready for anything.
We're coming together right now. The past 4 games have looked really good. The Hornets game was really the start of it.
Yeah,
blowing a team out by like 50 almost. It was like 40, 42, or 40, something like that. Against any NBA team, that feels good, and it really just gets the whole motivation going. Zach's shooting amazing. Keegan's getting hot. It's all looking like a really good team right now.
It is. It definitely is. Well, Zach LaVine, we'll start there. Player of the Week stats, 28 points a game on almost 6 rebounds, 3 assists. But the real impressive part to me on his Player of the Week stats was 62% from the field and 63% from 3 on almost 7.5 attempts a game from 3.
Pretty insane.
So that's a high volume and a crazy percentage. Almost 64% from 3 on 7 attempts a game is unheard of. And that's what you need in today's NBA. You need guys taking threes, and you need guys making threes. So
Yeah. And it was like a little bit after Malik came out with that clip. He got broke shot, man.
Yeah.
He ain't making.
Malik said Zach couldn't hit a 3, and Zach took that personal, and now it seems like he can't miss from 3.
You can't miss.
Yeah.
It's feeding off. Like Jonas is going off right now too.
Yeah. Zach, I'm guessing is your Luke Lock of the Week.
Yes, he is. Zach LaVine.
There.
I couldn't go anywhere else.
Yeah.
There was nobody else around the league that was looking like this. And, it's amazing right after the trade. People are just like Kings are back and doing the Kings things again. But he's averaging more stats on everything than De'Aaron is, and he's doing a whole lot more better.
Hey,
yeah,
I'm with it.
Yeah, no, I think they're in a great spot. And
a whole lot better.
The 60s shooting percentage is what jumps out for me the most. And it seems like he's more comfortable. He kind of talked about in the press conference after the game the other night that, people expected it to work in the first game, but, it took him a couple games, everything like that, all the cliches, but it actually did. So, and now he just looks more comfortable going into his shot. We know he's not scared to take those threes. He's got F shot quality, probably the worst shot quality in the NBA, but he's shooting in the 60s. So, it's great to see. And it's beautiful to watch because his shot's so smooth. And when he goes straight up into it, I feel like he don't hit anything but the bottom of the net. And it's beautiful.
Yeah. I feel like Zach uses his length very well as well to shoot over defenders.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who's on him or, what the time is on the clock. If he feels confident, which it seems like he always does, he's going to let that thing fly. And when he's knocking it down, it's a beautiful sight to see.
Yep.
We have to mention, though, Domantas Sabonis, right after our last episode, went down with an injury about 1 minute into the Rockets game. But our guy Jonas, man, you guys been riding for him all year. And he's coming up huge for this Kings team. He's been the real bright spot these last couple games with Domas out, taking a big leap. And, he's just such a quality big, man. He makes his team flow so well. And honestly, his defense has been really impressive to me.
Yeah, no, he's getting up, and he jumps up clean. It's not really like a very wild, like he jumps up straight and affects every shot when he's down there. Obviously, like he's a little bit slower than everybody on the team, but I don't really see that affecting anything.
Hey, he
Like,
hustles, man.
he hustles
I think
up
he
and down the
hustles
court.
like more than anyone.
Yeah,
So.
he's also. I mean, I think he's one of the strongest guys in the league. Like
It's hard to say he's not the strongest. Like watching him on this team,
But no, it's I'm so happy that he's developing well with us and really just making an effect immediately. Like it didn't really take any time.
Yeah. He's been solid the whole time he's been here, but just it's kind of like just him coming up big really started in that Rockets game where some of the stats he had 15, 14 boards, 4 steals and 3 blocks. I think he got the shout out before they gave the crown to Keon that game. They were like, shout out Jonas real quick. But yeah, definitely he's coming up huge. And I mean, like you said, the rim protection, he's not uncontrolled like with his body when he's protecting the rim. Yeah. And I think he kind of had to get used to, Sengun kind of got him a little bit, a couple possessions in a row. But then, once he really locked in and, it's tough to score on Domas and Jonas especially. I feel like Jonas is like even a little bit bigger than Domas too. I mean,
I definitely think he is.
And his wingspan is insane. Those long arms. Most of the time, he's not even jumping on contests. He's just right here because his arms are long enough without having to jump to just go straight up. So I mean, he really came up huge coming in that game, playing heavy minutes, and then I was really interested to see what they were gonna do right after Domas went down when they had to rest Valanciunas, and I think. That small ball lineup really came up big. Shout out Trey Lyles the last couple of games. He's been coming up big, stepping in and just staying ready. So it's great to see they're flowing, the chemistry's up, and it's just good vibes right now.
Yeah, definitely a big shout out to Trey Lyles, man. He, was out of the rotation. He had his first DMP a couple games ago, and then he came back when Domas got hurt, and he just comes in right away. I noticed it in that Rockets game when Domas was out. Trey Lyles' first possession in the game, he had an open look from 3, and he didn't hesitate one bit, and he knocked down the 3.
Yep.
And that's huge for your confidence, man. Seeing one go in right when you check into the game, that just makes every other aspect of the game come so much easier. Like, when you hit your first shot, you're going to play harder defense. You're going to grab a couple more boards. Yep. You're going to find the outlet pass better. It's just everything flows better, and, Trey Lyles is a big part of this team. And
huge. Yeah,
I think when Domas does come back, we still need to find some minutes for him.
For sure.
Maybe playing the 4 a little more and go, bigger than we have most of the year.
One of those small lineups I liked, I think it was Laravia, and then Lyles and Keegan were playing the bigs, and then you had Keon and who was running the point guard? Markel. And that lineup was just, you got 3 really good on-ball defenders, and then you got Trey Lyles and who else was it?
Laravia,
Keegan Block and Laravia just rim protecting. I think that was a really good lineup defensively, and that's a lineup that probably hasn't played a lot together and won't play a lot together, but it's good that, they're getting that in-game experience together just in case we need that again. And I think that's a really, lockdown lineup that we could go to in, situational type of games.
That's a great call because I probably think that's our best defensive lineup. We could probably switch 1 through 5 there as well. Trey Lyles can guard the perimeter pretty well, probably the best out of all our bigs, and then Markel can guard multiple positions as well, and we know what Keon can do on the defensive end. So that's a great lineup, and that's a good call.
One of my favorite lineups from that game.
Yep.
Yeah, the defense has really been a huge part of this win streak, honestly.
Holding teams down to just around, not even 90 there, 100 points, 103, 98. Holding teams down to 100 points, that's so impressive in today's league.
It's crazy.
Sure. Everybody's shooting over 23s a game, so, it's beautiful to see like that.
Yeah, Keegan's really, he was my X factor last week for the Kings, and I think it's just showing crazy right now. Last game he had 18 points, but, he's really being decisive out there, and that's what we need from Keegan, especially in that first half. Came out hot, hit some shots, and even if he misses a couple shots, I still like when Keegan is quick with his decision-making, when he doesn't hesitate. Devin, you've been on him all year about it, about not making decisions quick enough and just being too hesitant and playing a little scared.
I think he doesn't even realize it because you see the couple times in a row he went down the court and just put his shoulder into whoever it was both times scored. Like the first time, it looked a little bit like he was looking for somebody and then he decided to go and he was like, he remembers how big he is and that he is strong and the same strength he plays with on defense, he could use that on offense and just, I just realized I'm 6'9", I'm 200 and some pounds, I could get this dude out of my way. Yeah. And you seen him do it on the very next possession the exact same way. So I think he just needs a play in the game, early in the game to realize that, and that's when he really starts using his body more and just being very aggressive on offense.
Yeah, I love that you brought that up because, Keegan's been in the gym, especially in the offseason. He came into this year looking jacked. and he hasn't really
Pause.
used it too much. But, the last couple games, like you said, he's starting to use it a little more. Milo, when he came on the show, said Keegan has, the same build as Tatum. So why doesn't Keegan do more stuff that Tatum does? And I feel like Keegan's kind of unlocking his game right now. So a huge part for this Kings team. And, he's someone who we need to play like 35-plus minutes every night because of the defensive side. And if he can score 18 a night, that's just crazy good for this Kings team.
Keegan's 6'8", 225 pounds.
Yeah.
Though. And then Jonas, I looked it up, 6'11", 265 pounds.
Yeah, Jonas.
I feel like that's off, though. I feel like he's a little bit bigger than that. But
Yeah, I feel like Jonas is 7 foot 300. That's what he feels like out there.
Yeah,
But
7 foot 300.
yeah,
It's crazy how much size we have now compared to just before we got all these pieces, and it's crazy how big of a part it's played in every single win since then. And we were begging for it for a couple of years, so it's great to see now. And I feel like with the fit now, it definitely flows together really well.
first, we were a super guard heavy team, and then we were almost like no guards.
Almost
at
ran
one
out of
point.
guards, yeah.
And then so I don't know. People were clowning on me for saying Monty was a smart man, but I don't know. It's looking pretty good right now.
I think his back was against the wall, and he made some good moves. So I give them credit for that for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Well, like you guys said, we don't have a lot of guards. The Mavs game, we did beat them pretty easily.
Yeah.
Kyrie went down. Prayers up for Kyrie,
prayers up.
man.
Yeah.
Out for the season with a torn ACL. So,
Sucks.
yeah, that really just sucks for basketball, man. Everybody loves Kyrie. I don't think there's one person who likes NBA basketball that has anything bad to say about Kyrie Irving.
No.
He's just a straight bucket, probably the most skilled player of all time, and the best handle, best finisher at the rim of all time. There's just not a lot negative you can say on Kyrie. So, the Mavs are dealing with a lot.
Man. He's just like me. I'm joking. I'm joking.
The Mavs, they're down bad, though. Everyone's getting on Nico Harrison for, trading Luka, and now AD's out, Kyrie's out. AD probably won't come back the rest of the year with Kyrie being out. Just sit him for the next year. But, yeah, the Mavs, man, it's big for this Kings team that the Mavs are falling off, but sad for Kyrie.
No, the Mavs need to they got to burn it down. At least Nico needs to probably get out of there soon.
Well, yeah,
I know
he's
he
definitely
just
going to
joined.
stay till next year.
I know he joined recently, and it's a whole new ownership over there, but I can tell it's not going to last long.
Yeah, but what if they win the championship next year with a fully healthy team?
Do you think they really have a chance?
I mean, they have a chance for sure.
I
They
think
have a good team.
yeah, I
Kyrie, AD,
for sure.
those
Yeah.
bigs.
They had a good team this year. It just sucks that it's all falling apart at this exact moment.
It's just, ACL injury, you can never say he's going to come back.
I was going to say that
He will.
he's a smaller guard, but I think just if everything goes well, he'll come back all right. At least it was just the ACL, and he didn't blow his whole knee apart.
It's just the ACL.
But, yeah,
Don't worry. It's just one of the biggest.
Modern medicine, in these times. But yeah, I feel terrible for the
just
Mavs.
sucks.
It sucks. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely sucks. But,
Good for us. So I won't feel sorry about getting a win in any way possible. So
yeah, true that. Well, we won that game 122-98. Zach LaVine led the way with 22 points. Jonas with 14 points, 9 rebounds, 2 blocks. DeMar with 20, Keegan 18. But Malik Monk, 13 points, 8 assists. He's going to be out tonight against Denver. So
he's out already?
He's out tonight against Denver.
Strained his toe.
Left that game and then came back in later in the game. But, toe injury for Malik. So who we starting at the point guard tonight, man? I know this episode on
Markelle.
YouTube is going to come out tomorrow.
Markelle.
So
Or Keon.
don't want to take too much time on this Nuggets game tonight. But, tonight. Are we going Keon or Markelle in the starting lineup?
Honestly,
Markelle.
I
Markelle.
probably See, I'm going Keon, but we'll see
probably
what happens
give it
tonight.
to Keon just
He
because
deserves it.
it's the vet, or not.
True.
I mean, he has a few more years here than Markelle does, but I don't know. Markelle's just more of a pure point guard.
He definitely is more of a point
to me,
guard.
you kind of
Yeah.
want to leave a scorer on the bench, at least in Keon.
That's what
Keon a scorer though. He had 0
He had
points
0
in
points
27
That's-
minutes.
He's
He's a
still
defender.
is shooting the best on
Yeah.
the team. I mean, you're gonna have those games. He did go
Besides
0 for 6,
Zach.
but
Yeah.
I mean, he's been shooting in the 40s. Yeah, besides
Yeah,
Zach.
yeah.
He's been shooting in the 40s, all year. So I'm not worried about that. But I mean, yeah, it is. I would just say Markelle just quickly, just because it's putting a playmaker for sure with all the scores we already have on offense.
Hey.
But it could go either way.
That might give Markelle a lot of confidence if
For
Doug
sure.
does do that and lets him run the offense a little bit. Because if we go Keon in the starting lineup, Keon's not a point guard at all. He's
That's
going to
what
play
I'm
off
saying,
the
yeah.
ball. He's going to corner sit, which he should. He plays great defense. That's kind of his role. But then that leaves
Are
Zach
they going to
LaVine.
move Zach to point guard?
Yeah, I think Zach
Zach
would.
might be on point.
I mean, Zach is a decent passer. I
Yeah.
kind of like his playmaking ability, but
I'd say-
he's a score first for sure.
I'd say move Zach to point, play Keon at shooting guard.
DeMar and
Or-
Zach. No, DeMar at the 3 for sure.
Yeah,
but
DeMar at the 3, and then
DeMar and
Keegan
Zach really
Trey.
handling the ball. That's what
yeah.
it would be.
Yeah.
Which, I'm cool with, but also if we have Markelle in that lineup, could be a little more free-flowing and let Zach and DeMar work more scoring-wise.
I think it'll be good either way, whatever lineup we have. But
yeah.
Zach might be the better option at point, and then bring Keon, and then DeMar, and then Keegan, and
Or Valanciunas.
Valanciunas.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll see. Don't want to spend too much time on the Nuggets
Yeah,
game
sorry.
because this is going to come out. So hopefully when you're listening to this tomorrow, the Kings beat the Nuggets and we're on a 5-game win streak.
Yes,
but
sir.
I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Got to shout out Scal.
Definitely was just on Scala Sierra. I was about to mention that.
First
4
game
minutes.
since 2019.
Yeah, first game in
In the
4
NBA.
years
Yeah.
in the NBA. Played 4 minutes, grabbed a rebound. Shout out to Scal, man. Good to see him back in
I
a
was
Kings uniform.
talking
That's the
my-
only team he's played for, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was talking to my dad last night, and we were just like, oh, it just made me so happy to see Scal running onto the court.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, a familiar face from years ago.
yeah, he had some good moments,
Yeah.
in his young years in Sac. I remember he had a game winner against the Knicks one time from 3, so
Yep.
he can shoot the ball a little bit.
Yeah, honestly, that play I remember, and they showed it on TV the other night
They
too.
did, yeah.
I think that was to Bogey, bro, because he's sitting right here ready to catch the ball, and he just looked at him and said, "Nah."
Yeah, I remember
Shot
that.
it into his cash, bros. But yeah,
Hey,
that's,
that
shout out
shows
Scal,
that
bro.
shows his confidence, man.
Yeah.
For real.
I feel like he should get some minutes, though.
He might
it'll
tonight.
probably be garbage time minutes if he
Yeah.
does get checked in.
Yeah.
They'll use Jonas, and I want to see Isaac Jones get checked in a little bit more.
Isaac Jones looked good in the garbage
Yeah.
time minutes last game. Had 6 points. He was just super aggressive, trying to get any bucket he could.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd probably roll with more Valanciunas and then
And
Trey
Trey.
Lyles at the 5. Yeah, go with that lineup. But Kai Jones, man, got to give him a quick shout out
Mhm.
on Dallas. Just signed him to a contract that morning, and then came in 21 points and 8 rebounds for Kai Jones. He
That's
was really
impressive.
the only bright spot for them. The Kings really locked up the Mavericks guards that we've had trouble with in the past. Spencer Dinwiddie. I remember earlier in the year, I think it was Doug Christie's first win. Dinwiddie
went
had
off
like
against
30.
us, yeah.
And this game we held Dinwiddie to 2 of 12 from the field, only 10 points. And Dante Exum also 2 of 10 from the field with 5 points. Those guys have killed us in the past, and we didn't let that happen. So this defense is locked in, man. Locked in like I've never seen it before.
Clay only had 3 points.
Yeah, Clay only had 3 points with 4 shot attempts, so don't see that from Clay a lot. But
Our 3-point defense is going up at the same time as our 3-point shooting is going up.
hey, things are clicking at the right
Things
time.
are clicking.
Definitely clicking at the right time. Well, the Rockets game, we can jump on it quickly. This game we won by
Jump
10,
on it.
113 to 103. Jonas Valanciunas, the MVP of the game for sure.
Hang on one sec. I remember last week, right before the Rockets game, I said Kings beating the Rockets by 10, and they're covering the spread.
That
It
was
happened.
That was your. one
Said
of
it was
your
my
locks.
lock.
Yeah,
The other one was
forgot about
LaVine
that.
at 25, but he had 20. But
Aw,
One
yeah.
out of 2. They did win by 10. They did.
I
cover.
said it.
they did win by 10. This game was a really feisty one. DeMar and Dylan Brooks getting into it. I want to hear your guys' thoughts on that. What do you think about
They're
the
so
DeMar
fake.
Dylan
They're
Brooks?
fake tough, bro. I hate the whole.
DeMar
Rockets
is not
team.
fake tough.
DeMar's not fake.
No,
though.
yeah, the
Man was
Rockets,
throwing up
bro.
the C's in the locker
Yeah.
room, man.
DeMar is not someone you want to mess with.
I mean, shout out Ime. I won't say Ime is not really like that, but his mentality's just gone down to his team, and some of his players are just out there looking like goons, bruh. It's like they're honestly like that's happened literally every game we've played against the Rockets this
Yeah.
year. Is I think
And
Dylan Brooks
last
is-
game it was Malik and
Yeah.
Dylan, and then
the first game it was Fox, and so I'm sitting there, I'm like, they're lucky they don't got Fox to make mad right now, and then they honestly just made the whole team really responded. So yeah,
Yeah.
I hate the Rockets, bro. They're so that mentality's so fake to me, bro. I don't
Nah.
like it.
It was pretty funny. I wish we had the hot mics for it because DeMar was talking to the ref, and then he looked at
Yeah.
Dylan. He's just like, "Man, who are you talking to right?"
And
I'm like,
then-
"What the?"
and then Dylan Brooks pushed him.
Dylan came up. It's like, how did he not get a T right there,
And
right
then
in front of
they
the
both
ref?
got
double
teed up,
technical.
yeah.
How did DeMar get it?
Why did DeMar get a
Yeah,
tech?
exactly.
Like everything was just
I was
pressed on
mad.
him. Like, yeah, that was
Yeah, our girl Morgan was pretty mad about that on the post game
Yeah.
that DeMar got teed up in that. Hey, but a win's a win.
a
So
win's a win.
got to shout out DeMar for stepping up for his team and being the guy
Yeah.
to back his guys up. So that's something we
Win is a
need.
win.
I
And-
understand that
yeah.
that kind of can push your team into winning by doing that, but every time they've done it this year against us, it's they've lost the game. So
Yeah.
it feels
We
good
have the
to sweep
Rockets
them,
number
right?
this year. Yeah,
Feels good to
3-0.
We're 3-0.
3-0 against the Rockets. This game, we locked up Fred VanVleet as well. So the perimeter defense, like we've said, has been looking really good. Fred VanVleet has killed us earlier in the year. He only went 1 for 8 from the field. So, shout out to Keon. He was killing this game. Keon had 5 steals in this game. It should have been 6, but they gave one of the steals to Jonas. So Jonas had 4 steals, 3 blocks. Keon 5 steals and 1 block. Those guys are locking up. And then Keegan as well, both sides of the floor. This team is unlocked, man.
I feel
think
like they
we're
did
going
a
on a
good
run.
job on Jalen Green too. He
Yeah.
didn't really start scoring until like the
Later
end
in
of the
the game.
game when it was like getting kind of late. But yeah, it's a complete night and day change of the perimeter defense. Like that's the main thing we were complaining about earlier in this year, and now it's like they're just all on a string.
Yeah. You can tell Doug
It's
has
looking
these
really
guys
good.
locked in. Maybe the practice time, because, after the All-Star break, we thought they got some practice time in.
They only had
they didn't.
They had 1 practice.
And then they played the Warriors, and
Yeah.
they got ran out of the gym.
Yeah.
Zach LaVine only had 13 points that game, and we were all, a little stressed and a little worried about this team the second half. And then ever since then, Zach LaVine scored over 20 every night, 1 player of the week, and now we've won 4 in a row.
It's
So
a very emotional team.
Yeah.
We come into the studio, we're just like, it's over, man. Like
Yeah.
after we get blown out. And then,
every week
hey,
it's
we're
a
alive.
different feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last 2 years have been the greatest amusement park ride of all time. Like after that playoff series against the Warriors, it's just been roller coaster up
Yep.
and down and around. Like but it's been fun, and it's getting even more fun right now. Getting into the stretch run. So
At least the Kings have something, and it's
yeah,
if we were a roller coaster, it would be the best one.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
For sure. Well, I wonder how you guys think this next roller coaster ride is going to go. Are we still going to go on the upward trend, or are we going to start going down? Because, today we play the Nuggets, but then De'Aaron Fox comes to Sacramento. We will talk about it on Saturday, but yeah, De'Aaron Fox coming to Sacramento on Friday. Looks like he's going to play.
Yeah.
I had some doubts if he was going to get surgery on that finger and duck some smoke from a leak, but I think he's going to play, man. Sad
think there's
Domas
smoke.
won't be
There's
out
no
there.
smoke
Oh, there's
between
smoke.
them.
Come on. There's
I don't
smoke.
think there's smoke.
There's smoke.
Dude.
You don't think there's smoke? There's
I
smoke.
think people are overhyping.
You hear Malik talking about it?
Yeah, I mean,
there's
probably,
smoke.
He's probably bummed out that his friend didn't tell him about it.
There's
but,
smoke
like,
with Malik. There's smoke with DeMar. There's smoke with Domas.
I don't think there's.
Now
much
I don't
smoke.
think it's that dramatic,
I don't
but
think
once
it's
it gets
that
on the court,
dramatic.
it's gonna be that. But off the court,
Exactly.
When
it's
it's,
not
when it's
that,
on the
but-
court.
I mean,
yeah,
off
it's
the court, they
basketball.
don't hate each other.
Yeah.
That's
but
what I'm
like,
saying.
But
like,
I do
on the
agree,
court
They're not
is-
cool.
Is different.
On the court, they're gonna start hitting some shots, and it's gonna get like that for sure.
it's definitely going to get intense. The building will definitely be a big part,
Oh,
a big
dude.
factor.
Yeah.
I'm very curious to see what happens on Friday.
I think they'll be cool for the video
Yep.
and for the starting lineup.
Yeah.
But after that, I think
I don't think they're going to be cool for the
yeah.
starting lineup.
no,
The
maybe.
starting lineup isn't going to
Maybe.
be cool.
They're
The
gonna be-
video.
Well, it
I
depends
think
on when the video happens.
It's
Is
going to
that
happen at
gonna
the
be
beginning.
before their lineup though.
Yeah.
So they'll probably do that and then go into their lineup and announce him. So I think it'll be fine then. But yeah, once that game starts, I wouldn't be surprised if he got the buddy treatment, bro.
Yeah.
As
Oh.
soon as he touches the ball.
gonna-
I think he's
Yeah.
going to get booed every
Oh.
time
He's
he
gonna-
touches the ball.
Every time.
Um,
It's going to be all game. He's going to be dribbling the ball up.
Mhm. I'm hyped, man. I'm hyped.
I'm also very nervous because if we lose that game, we clowns.
Yeah. No, if we lose
Like,
that game, that's going to be a really bad
we are
look.
clowns in Sacramento. I'm not
everyone's
saying
gonna-
we because I'm not supporting it.
Yeah.
I'm not supporting it. So the rest of Sacramento who's tripping on this, nah.
Well, if we got Domas back for that game, it's
Domas isn't coming back.
He's
That's-
not
He's
going to
not-
be back.
He's probably
that
going to
game.
come back like the
Honestly,
13th or the
it still
10th.
might it still should be a must win anyway because
Yeah.
no Wemby. Come on, and they're
We
on a
need that
slide
game.
right now for sure.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. They're
I'm
not trying
honestly-
to lose, but they're losing a lot of games.
I'm
Yeah.
excited for that game. I'm more scared for this game today now that you just told me Malik Monk's not playing.
I'm not really
Like,
scared
I'm
for
like,
this
yeah.
game because
Jokic might be out. It's still up in the air.
Yeah,
so.
they do have a few players questionable too. I think
and
Aaron Gordon.
we've
was
played
too.
well against the Nuggets. We did give
That's
up
true,
a
yeah.
lead in the fourth the last time we played them, I think. Or
Yeah, we were up.
Like, we were up
and,
a lot.
And then DeMar, that was
And-
the game where DeMar fumbled the layup.
Yep.
Oh, yep.
That
Uh,
started the losing streak, I'm pretty sure,
yeah.
right? Yeah, so
Damn, haven't played them since then.
haven't played them with Doug Christie.
So
oh,
I-
no, we played them in
we played-
Denver before, and we lost.
Oh, that was off the back to back. Yeah.
That game doesn't even count.
Yeah.
Back-to-back in Denver,
Yeah,
like,
no,
come on.
That's yeah.
Hey, but playing in the Mile High City is tough, even
It's
not
tough.
on a back-to-back, so
Yeah.
a
But
big
it
game
is-
tonight.
They did get some rest at the
Got a
end
little
of
bit more
the
rest right here.
the
Yeah.
Rockets game.
Yeah.
No, Mavs game. Yeah,
Yeah.
they were up 30. So
Yeah.
they got even in the Rockets game, some of them got a little bit of rest. But yeah, they're definitely coming off some rest and thankfully a couple of days off. So hopefully it doesn't look anything like that game a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, if Jokic plays today, it's going to be tough to stop him.
Hey, Valanciunas is a good answer for him, though.
It's gonna be
He's
be
just
tough.
as strong.
Yeah.
So
I know.
Jokic can't baby him down low. But
I would say honestly, Aaron Gordon playing is more of a like. If
He
he
kills
plays
the
with
Kings.
Jokic,
Yeah.
then it's probably.
Aaron Gordon's going to
gonna
hit
be
like
tough.
5 threes tonight.
He
He always hits
kills the
threes.
Kings.
But he's also one of the questionable players, so we'll check on that. I'll check on that at the break.
Yeah. Well, then the next 2 games after the Spurs game on Friday is Sunday. We go to L.A. to play the Clippers, who are right next to us in the standings.
Yep.
They're falling off as well, and we need them to keep losing
bit.
games.
Yep.
They do have Kawhi back, so we're actually a half game above the Clippers right now.
Yeah.
We are in 8th. They are in 9th place. So
That's looking pretty
this is going to be a
cool.
very important game come Sunday
And
in
we're only
L.A.
half a game behind the Timberwolves
Yep. And
and a game behind the Warriors in the 6th seed.
yeah, and then
Somewhere
right
there.
after the Clippers game, a back-to-back, we play the Knicks at home on Monday. Do you think we go 4-0 in these next 4 games?
So 8-game winning streak.
I would be, I'm on
Honestly,
board with it.
I wouldn't be mad with a loss to the Nuggets. That would be a 3-1 road trip if you're kind of looking at it like that.
Yeah.
So you went
Yeah.
on the road for 4 games. You went 3-1, and then starting with that Spurs game, you got to win that one. Got to beat the Clippers so you can stay above them, and then we'll see with the Knicks. So honestly, I would take a loss to the Nuggets today, but
yeah.
honestly, I could see them
I
being
could
on a winning
I
streak.
could see it going.
Yeah.
But I think the most likely I think we might lose tonight, possibly.
Do you think we could beat the Knicks on Monday?
I do.
I don't remember the
Uh,
last time
yeah.
we beat the Knicks.
I think we oh no, we beat the Celtics
We haven't beat
by
the
a lot.
Knicks.
We haven't
Was
beat
it
them.
last
years.
year? Or
I don't
2
think
years
we
ago,
beat them in
maybe?
years.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't remember watching the Kings beat the Knicks in MSG or in SAC, because last year that was when Brunson cooked Keon on
Did they
TNT.
beat them 2 years ago on TNT, like the Beam Team year? Or did they lose that game? No, they won that game.
Okay, so 2
Yeah,
years
2
ago.
years ago.
It's been 2 years since the Kings
Yep,
beat the Knicks.
At home in the Grays.
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
Well, the Knicks are a tough team, so the next 4 games are going to be tough. But we will be back in 3 minutes. Beam City Sports on 96.5 FM. Second half of the show coming up in a few.
Cheers.
Yes,
Thank you.
sir.
We are back on Beam City Sports 96.5 FM. How are we starting the second half of the show, boys?
With loose lock of the week. I know he had a bit of a struggle game in Denver recently, 0 for 6 from 3, but he's going to turn around tonight not in Denver, in Dallas, my bad. It was a struggle game in Dallas. 0 points in 27 minutes, I think, which was not good. But he's going to turn around tonight. Keon over 20 points.
Keon.
He's going to get more minutes with Malik out. We were just talking about him starting, maybe not. But he's going to shoot better this game. He's going to hit his threes. And then also he's just going to have more minutes to do it. I think he's going to get like over 30 minutes.
Yeah. We've seen Keon go off this year for sure.
Mhm.
That Pelicans game stands out a lot.
Yeah.
Where he went off hitting every 3 he took.
Yeah.
The confidence was off the charts.
He
so,
hasn't had a whole lot of 20-point games, but I think this one tonight will happen.
Dev, you on board?
Yep. I got you. I mean, I'm always on board. I want him to keep shooting, and I'm not mad that he went 0 for 6. And I think if you want to take 6 more tonight, do it, big dog.
Yeah, I'm with it. I'm saying that's a lock. Keon, 20 points. Let's get it. And the defense, I would lock 3 steals as well.
3 steals?
I would say 3 steals.
Okay.
He's a steal magnet, man.
Yeah.
Him and Dyson Daniels
His-
are just crazy on the steal.
His help defense is insane.
Yeah.
I feel like he has eyes in the back of his head because he's just like, he's looking at his player and then he's just like, oh, let me turn around and grab the ball real quick.
He's
All right,
always
that's
in the
mine.
right spot at the right time.
Yeah.
And he has a crazy wingspan, and he plays like defense kind of like Iguodala on the Prime Warriors days, where he always had, like, Iguodala had a great wingspan.
I want Iguodala.
I want Iguodala. I want Keon Ellis.
I want Keon Ellis.
But yeah, his wingspan is just crazy, and I feel like both those guys know it, and they use their wingspan to their advantage, always having their arms like wide out, as you're taught to do on the defensive end. But not everyone does that. So
Yeah.
Keon's one of those guys that does that every possession, and he doesn't take plays off. So
Yes, sir.
I like that pick for Luke's lock of the week.
He's going to make you money tonight.
All right. We can move on to ICU. I got 2 picks this week. Got to show some love to Quentin Grimes from the Philadelphia 76ers. Just got traded from the Mavericks at the trade deadline. Kind of a surprising move. I bet the Mavericks wish they had him now. Because the other day against the Warriors, Quentin Grimes dropped a career-high 44 points on 18 of 24 shooting and 6 of 9 from 3 to beat the Warriors in Philly. I think that ended Philly's 9-game losing streak as well. So shout out to Quentin Grimes getting Philly a dub on the board, even though there's not many of those for
There
them
you
this
go.
year. But
Yeah.
Quentin Grimes, man, he's a young player still. And, him and Max Christie kind of collided, play style. So that's why Dallas decided to get rid of him. But I'm sure they wish they had
Yeah.
both of them right now because
For sure.
you can't have too many good defensive wings that can shoot the ball like this.
Nah.
So-
I mean, that's kind of the way a lot of teams live and die right now.
Yeah.
Is a defensive wing that can shoot.
Yeah, for sure. And then last night against the Timberwolves, he had 30 points. So backing up that 44 piece with 30. But yeah, Quentin Grimes, man, I think
Turn up.
he was one of my favorites when he was on that Knicks team a couple years ago, and now he's showing his potential. So I think he's going to be a big part to Philly coming up.
Hell yeah. I got one Connect 4 in LA.
Dalton, shout out.
Yeah. He hasn't obviously kind of going through a little bit of turmoil with the trade being rescinded and everything.
Yeah, weird spot
But
for him.
The last 2 games he's been doing pretty good. He's filling up the stat sheet. I think 19 2 games ago and then 13 this past game
Solid.
with 4 or 5 rebounds and a few assists each. He's coming off the bench and helping out the team even after as a rookie going through all that sucks.
Yeah.
That blows.
Yeah,
But-
even JJ said it when they interviewed him about the trade. He just said this is a once in a lifetime thing where you get traded and then you already have your locker moved out. The team already posted you on their page. You're already
Yeah.
on the roster, and then it comes out that the trade got rescinded. So,
Yeah.
he went back to LA, took a couple games off to get his mojo right,
Yeah.
feel for
Get
the
his
locker
mental-
room,
just his
yeah,
mental
the
back.
mental side, and
Yeah.
now he's balling. I think this Lakers team definitely looks scary. They're second in the Western Conference, and in the playoffs, if he can come off the bench, hit a couple threes, that'll be big for them.
That's gonna be huge. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, another pick I had, got to show some love. First NBA start the other night, Reed Shepherd, who was my pick for Rookie of the Year. Definitely not going to win that award. He's been in the G League pretty much all year. And then the Rockets the other night against the Thunder, they sat most of their guys, some injuries. After that Kings game, actually, the Rockets had about 5 injuries to their most important players, and they all sat that Thunder game. But it was a close game. It was a fun game to watch. Reed Shepherd had 25 points, though, career high. First start in the NBA, so shout out to Reed.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Do you think they regret not having him on the team before?
All year?
Or
I think with him, it's just confidence, man. And
Okay.
that's really all it is. We know he has the game, but early in the year in his limited minutes, you could tell he just had no confidence out there. Going to the G League, kind of similar to Devin Carter. You see the confidence, and when they have confidence, they're, one of the most important guys on the floor.
yeah.
And, even if they're not scoring 25 a night, I still think Reed Shepherd can be a
Very effective.
very impactful player. Same with Devin Carter as well. On the defensive end, grabbing boards, playing,
Mm-hmm.
both sides of the floor, facilitating the ball. So hopefully Devin Carter can,
I hope he
have
can,
a 25-point night
That's what I'm saying.
eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
I like that.
we can move
shout
on.
Shout out Shepard, man.
Yeah, shout out Reed. Dev's disappointment. Wah, wah, wah. Who is Dev's
Boo.
disappointment
We need to
this
get a
week?
soundboard in this.
This week I'm gonna go with the Mavs.
Oh,
Damn.
I mean,
Their
Prayers up.
medical staff or their GM?
honestly,
or-
everything. It's just in a really crappy position for the whole franchise, fans, everybody to be in. We know it's a crappy position for Nico to be in. He's feeling stressed out there right now. And then, like you said, trading Grimes just because his play style kind of clashed with Max Christie. Now they definitely need him. And, they lose AD the first after basically one full half of basketball. They lose him. And, who knows what's going to happen with him? He might, talk to his people and he might sit out the rest of the year because if Kyrie's out, what's the point in rushing himself back? We
Yeah.
know how he is with the injuries. So, honestly, just in a really crappy position from being a year removed from being in the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That is something I always forget about. Is
they
that
were in the NBA
this
Finals last
team
year.
that they kind of blew up is gone. Oh, my gosh.
Yep.
I'm sorry, Dallas fans. I'm sorry.
It's
Must be
more a
tough.
disappointment for the fans, for sure.
Like-
And I guess the people, running the thing.
Yeah.
but
I don't think I even went through that much pain as a Kings fan growing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, all this drama.
we were never in
No
a
way.
position to be in the finals. And then, if we made the finals in 2023 and then traded during this year, it'd be like that. But,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we never had that much success. So,
Yeah, you definitely got to feel bad for Mavs fans because after the Luka trade, I saw fans, tweeting out, posting on stuff that, hey, at least I still get to watch Kyrie Irving play basketball. and now they don't get to do that
Dude.
either. So this year is a wash for the Mavs. But honestly, next year I'm scared of them. Next year with a healthy team, I think they can have a good year. I don't know if a championship is realistic though.
I don't think so,
With
dude.
the way the NBA is going.
The
But
way
I
it's
mean,
all developing right now.
they have a good fit team if you just look outside the Luka trade with Kyrie, AD, the bigs.
I'm gonna say the
Clay,
Rockets have a better
Christie.
chance next year than them.
That's not a bad take.
It's not ridiculous to say
It's
that.
not ridiculous to say that. Yeah, well, we can move on to some games that happened last night. The Warriors were in New York in Madison Square Garden, and you know what happens when the Warriors go to MSG? Steph Curry, legacy
goes
game,
off.
28.7 rebounds, 9 assists for Steph. He's only lost 2 games in his career in Madison Square Garden, going back to his Davidson days.
Whoa.
Yeah. So
I
he
feel like
dominates
that's
in
gotta
MSG.
be, like, one of the best records.
It's
in,
like 15
visiting
and 2.
players.
15 and 2 in MSG for Steph. And that goes back to college as well. So, he only plays there one time a year though.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and then some years he's been hurt, but 15 and 2 in MSG is crazy. Probably the biggest stage in the NBA.
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler also had a great game, 19 points, facilitating the floor, grabbing boards, playing defense. He's just, the perfect piece for this Warriors team, and they're going to go on a run. Pajemski also with 19. So, shout out to the Warriors, man.
Yeah, no, it's I mean, I'm not a hater or anything, but I'm definitely loyal to Sacramento. So like when it comes to the Lakers and Warriors or anything like this, I'm not gonna support it. But damn, I'm scared right now.
They're good, man.
I'm scared.
They're really good. Draymond and Jimmy look like they're best friends. Everyone thought they were going to be fighting, in the locker room on the floor, but no, they click. They click very well.
Who thought that?
I mean, everyone thought the two big, personalities would clash, but honestly, they're locked in and they're playing very well together. They have, some handshakes already. They're
Yeah.
celebrating together, so
I feel like
everything's going good in Golden State.
I feel like it's like two big personalities, but way different. Like completely different. If they're a little bit more similar, I could see it because then like they might be cramping each other's style.
Yeah.
But like Jimmy's just like I'm gonna go out, have fun, and ball. Draymond's like I'm gonna go have fun, but I'm gonna kill this mo.
Yeah.
I'm like he's I don't know. It's different.
The main thing is those two guys are winners.
Yeah.
All they want to do is win, and if that's happening, everything's going to be good. If
Yeah.
they start losing some games, then it might get a little ugly. But if they're winning like this, there's not much you can argue about in the locker room.
Happy Jimmy is good basketball.
Yeah. Also, Buddy with 15.
We don't need to talk about
Yeah.
it.
Also, got to shout out
Sorry.
Jimmy Butler for his Enjoy Basketball collab
Yeah.
on Big Face Coffee, his coffee brand collabing with our numbers on the board guys at Enjoy Basketball. So
Shout out.
really cool to see.
I don't drink coffee, but Jimmy, Big Face Beam City.
Yeah.
That
Enjoy.
coffee's also like $20 a cup.
Oh my.
Probably more.
gosh.
Probably more. A couple other games last night. The Pelicans at the Lakers. Luka with his best game as a Laker. 30 points, 8 rebounds, 15 assists, 6 threes. Most of those coming in the first half. But, man, there was a stretch in that game where he was, every time down the floor, he was pulling step-back threes, and it was all
Yeah.
net. So,
And dude's all smiles.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing bad I see coming out of him right now.
yeah.
Pause.
Well, Luka is definitely having fun out there in L.A.
Thomas called me out the other day. Shout out Thomas, because right when the trade happened, I mean, I was hating obviously because I did not like it, and I said, "Mark my words, LeBron and Luka not going to go down as a good duo."
Uh-oh.
And I will take those back.
Hey,
Yeah.
you got to live with the good takes, live with the bad takes.
Yeah.
But yeah, those two guys look locked in together. LeBron had 34, 8, and 6 last night.
Yeah.
40 years old. Can't
Dude's-
say it enough.
Well, he's averaging
40.
his MVP numbers he had back in 2013-14.
yeah.
He's having like even a better year almost.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
stats from one of his best years, MVP, like you said, 2013.
2013-14 when he won.
He was averaging the same amount of points and similar rebounds and assists, but this year he's shooting a way better percentage from all spots on the floor.
And somehow he's not even in MVP conversation right now.
It's actually crazy.
Like-
Back then, it was probably not that many 26
Not that
point
many,
per game guys.
yeah.
Now LeBron is like 12th in the league in scoring.
Yeah.
That
Because
time
he's-
he was probably 3.
Yeah.
So
30 points per game.
yeah, there's
Like,
so many guys dropping
yeah.
30. Well, got to mention in this Pelicans-Laker game, though, Zion did look
Zion,
really good.
oh.
Had a poster. 37 points for Zion Williamson. He looked slim out there, looked very fast as well.
He still got his goatee.
Yeah, goatee Zion is
I
hooping.
think it's the goatee, man.
Yeah, goatee Zion is
goatee.
hooping. And,
He's been balling for
yeah,
sure.
He looks like he's lost a lot of weight. That's for
Mhm.
sure.
I like how they're, as much as everybody likes to make fun of it, he's not playing back to back, or honestly, yeah, he's not playing back to
Yeah,
back.
he's not
Yeah.
playing back-to-back.
They're even sitting him out of, games sometimes. So I kind of like how cautious they're being, and I hope that it does good for him in the long run. And next year he gets to play a full season, and we get to see a healthy full season Zion.
I mean, he was supposed to be like the most exciting player besides LeBron, like right now.
That was kind of who
He
the
was
league
pretty
was
exciting
like.
last night.
Was pushing they were kind of pushing the torch to Zion when he got drafted, like because they were like, oh, LeBron's only got a few more years. It's been 5 years. He's still in the league.
Then they said, wait, we have Wemby coming in.
Yeah.
Let's just wait for him.
Yeah.
But hopefully he's still a insane player, unstoppable, unguardable for most of the league. Besides a few people. So hopefully he gets a full season in, and he gets to experience some good playoff basketball next year with the Pelicans. Hopefully not with the Pelicans because they're in the West.
Hey, they're going to be good next year.
They are going to be good.
But they're going to be nice.
They're going to be good, and they got rid of Ingram, so that unlocks Trey Murphy.
Yep.
And
He's
then
a
Jordan.
superstar
Yeah,
already,
Trey
right?
Murphy is going to be a superstar, and Jordan Hawkins as well is someone who I think is going to be really good.
Trey Murphy's episode with Jeff Teague.
saw that?
That was a really good episode.
I loved that episode. That was a banger.
Good.
Jeff Teague was talking about his one favorite thing that he got to when he got in the league was unlimited Gatorade. So that was
unlimited.
Unlimited Gatorade. That was pretty funny. But one more game to go over last night was the Clippers at the Suns. Clippers were up 23 points for most of this game. Then a guy by the name of Colin Gillespie comes in.
The boy
With 10 points, leading them to the comeback. Suns win 119-117.
I was so
Suns
happy.
finally get a dub.
I was so happy.
And we
when
need
this
the Clippers to
happened. We
lose.
need the Clippers to lose.
So that's a big win for the Suns for us. The Suns are honestly out of the picture right now.
To be honest,
they
might be
slipping.
cooked.
They're done.
slipping.
It's also rumored that Kevin Durant will get
KD's gonna be
traded
gone
this
Yeah.
offseason.
Like this offseason,
Oh, yeah.
I
For
think it's
sure.
going to happen because they're not
Put
getting
your-
rid of Devin.
Yeah,
No way they're getting rid of Devin.
I mean, they might. Why would Devin Booker? Why would Devin Booker stay though? I mean, he's in year 11, and he's under 30, but he's in year 11. He's going into year 11
do you
next
think
year.
he wants to be in Phoenix, or do you think he wants out?
If he stays in Phoenix, he could go down as the best Phoenix Sun of
Yeah.
all time in every stat. If he stays there his whole career,
And every stat, but overall as a player, like
I mean, I'm taking D-Book.
I'm taking Steve Nash.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
I'm taking
the
Steve
MVPs.
Nash.
I guess that's hard to argue.
Yeah.
I mean,
Devin
I
Booker
don't-
got him to the finals though. Steve
I
Nash
don't
never
see
did
a
that.
real reason to him wanting to leave.
But that was
like,
the Lake. I mean,
we
that's
haven't
just
heard
because it was the
anything.
Lake show.
What?
Sorry.
Devin Booker.
You're good. Yeah.
I mean, if KD gets traded, what's the direction? Because if you're
Building
trading
around
KD,
him again, I guess.
but you already had that with all those young guys. It was a
I don't know,
perfect
man.
fit.
And they went to the finals.
They went to the finals.
But then
You
they
just
traded all
trade 'em
those young
both?
guys for KD. And
Yeah.
then that's when it kind of
The Suns also don't have any picks coming up.
they
No
need
picks.
to
No picks.
hopefully
Traded
get some
them
of
all.
those for KD.
So they have to trade KD or Devin for a lot of picks and a player.
All right, put your predictions in now. Where's Kevin Durant going to be playing next season?
Anywhere but the Warriors. Prediction?
Portland trade. I'm joking.
You always say Portland.
Sacramento.
Okay. There's
Damn.
only one team that really won't have to give up a lot that makes the most sense.
Thunder.
Yeah.
Honestly,
They're
hopefully
giving
somewhere
up
in the
all
East.
those picks, dude.
They would
Thunder
probably
would
only
be
give up
crazy.
3 picks, and they'd still
Three.
have 10 in the next 2 years.
But then they're also gonna the Suns. The Suns will ask for a good player. Like who are they asking for?
Not any of their starting 5, though.
Not J Dub, not Shea,
Not Chet. It would probably be Aaron Wiggins.
and Hartenstein in the picks.
I think the Thunder would want to keep Hartenstein.
The Thunder do want to keep him, but you have to give someone up for KD who's still scoring
But
a lot of points. Like
Do
this.
you though? Because he does. The Suns don't have a lot of, KD's gonna get traded. Everyone knows
Yeah.
that. His value as a player is still up, but the trade value is going down
That is
because
true.
everyone knows he's available.
Yeah.
So
Um,
the Thunder
I
is
don't
my
know, dude.
guess. I think the Thunder are gonna lose in the second round or
I
the
think
Western
goes
Conference
back,
Finals.
Goes back to the Thunder and wins a ring. on the Thunder.
LeBron type of story. Go back to the Thunder.
He wouldn't have the respect though.
Yeah, because Shea would
He's
probably
just-
be known as the best guy still.
Yeah, he's just like he's bouncing around way more than LeBron. Like it's not going to be like a welcome back. Like,
They would love him.
They would love
immediately as
him.
soon as
They
he
would.
got back.
They
but
would.
it's not going to be like. I mean,
He's home.
it's not going to be as as much love as LeBron had.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'm curious to see what happens with KD come
But
off.
yeah,
season
probably the Thunder, dude.
time. Yeah,
The fact that the
Pacers.
Thunder can get even
that's not a bad. That's not a bad throw.
better, like, is
Yeah.
insane.
Well, they're gonna do something because if they don't win the finals, then they're not gonna make all those picks. They're gonna use them for something. So.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Well, that was a big win for the Suns for the Kings'
Huge.
sake, making the Clippers lose. But now,
I thought it was over, man.
yeah.
I thought it was over.
I will go over some games, some interesting ones coming up, and I want to hear who you guys picked as the winners. Tonight, the Thunder are in Memphis to play the Grizzlies. Who you guys got?
Thunder.
Going
Memphis
Thunder?
has been struggling.
They have.
Thunder are just, I mean, they're on a 4-game win streak right now.
Who are you going with?
Thunder.
Thunder. Easy pick there.
Yeah.
All right, tomorrow, the Knicks go to L.A. to play the Lakers. 2 hot teams. No Cat, though.
Lakers.
No Cat.
Lakers
Yeah.
are gonna
Lakers,
get it.
no Cat in at home.
Yeah.
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 Where are the Knicks coming from? Probably in like New York or something. Yeah. Honestly. Yeah. Lakers.
That's going to be another win for the Lakers.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. I'm going Lakers as well. Then we move on to another good game. Oh, on Saturday, Lakers at Celtics.
Boston.
You're going Boston?
I think I'm
Yeah.
going to go Boston.
In Boston?
Because, I mean, is that a back-to-back for the Lakers?
No, Saturday they play.
Oh, okay,
So,
never mind. Yeah.
Not a back-to-back
Sorry.
for either team.
Boston. And if you get out to a big lead, don't do any of that get out of here stuff, bro. Just keep playing the game
Yeah.
and don't lose the game.
True that. But
Need the
yeah,
Lakers to lose.
They're not going to get to a big lead, but yeah.
I'm going
Yeah.
Boston that game
Boston's
as well.
going to win.
All right. Well, let's see if our
There's your
predictions turn
respect,
out
Milo.
good.
There's your respect.
There's your respect. Well, the main topic of today for the end of the show is what stars are under the most pressure this playoffs. A lot of young guys, like I mentioned earlier, starting to get some pressure on them. Some names I have out there. I want to see who you guys has the most pressure on them. First guy on the list is Shai.
My back has a whole lot of pressure on it.
Oh.
Damn. Sorry.
Pause. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
I didn't mean it like that, man.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, I think this is the first year where he actually has some pressure going into the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think Shai probably has the most. I mean, close to the most, if not
Close to the most. Yeah, that's a good point.
Being in number one
Especially
seed,
being
it's
one.
like
Yeah.
it's yeah.
When you're the number 1 seed, gonna win MVP, you got more pressure on you than ever
Better
before.
win
yeah.
at least a series. Yeah.
But
He's
then-
he's still young though, so I don't think he has the most pressure out of these guys.
Right
Nikola
below
Jokic.
it, though.
Nikola Jokic, I don't think
Less.
Nikola has a lot of pressure on him.
No.
He's
Got
already
the
won a
ring.
championship.
No.
So there's definitely a lot of guys that have more pressure come playoff time. We can move on to Ja Morant. I think Ja Morant
He is a bit.
arguably
he needs
has
to step up.
the most pressure come playoff time. It's argued that it's been Jaren Jackson's team all year. And we know deep down it's Ja Morant's team. And
Yeah.
I think come playoff time, we're going to see that. But if Memphis goes out first round, they're going to have to make some moves.
Yeah.
And I don't know what they do. Desmond Bane's been good, but they might have to move
Desmond's
on.
gonna have to move. His contract's
Hey,
huge.
They
dude.
might have to get Kevin Durant.
I was gonna say Memphis.
Yeah.
I didn't bring it up, but Memphis is a big team that could trade and
Yeah.
grab.
But
grab
Desmond
KD.
Bane, I think if you get Kevin Durant, you have to keep Desmond Bane because that completes your team. You got Ja, Desmond, KD, and Jared. I think that completes
so you
your team.
trade Zach Edey and a few picks.
Jalen Wells, maybe.
Jalen Wells, dude.
That'd be tough to
Jalen
see
Wells
Jalen
and
Wells
Zach
leave
Edey
already
are going to Phoenix, maybe
for KD.
for KD and a pick.
I'd be scared.
Or
That
not,
would-
the picks going to Phoenix with
Yeah.
both of them.
Yeah. Ja Morant, pressure. I'm going to go through these guys and you tell me who has the most pressure. Jimmy Butler, Anthony Edwards, Kawhi Leonard, and James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, Jason Tatum, Karl Anthony Towns, and then Giannis and Dame. Who has the most pressure out of all those guys?
Tatum to do it back to back.
I mean, Tatum won last year.
He
though.
won last year, but I mean,
He didn't
everybody's
win Finals MVP.
He didn't win Finals
That's
MVP.
everybody's saying it's not
and
his
then
team.
also, like,
The hate.
it's such a I mean, the team they want to make it a legacy team. They want
Yeah.
to make it a
Dynasty.
a dynasty.
Yeah.
Yeah, my bad. So I think Tatum might have right below Shai. I'm saying that.
So you think Shai has the most pressure this playoffs?
Yeah.
I think Shai is still young enough to where he doesn't have the most pressure. And if
Not
they
the
lose
most,
in
yeah.
the second round or if they lose in the conference
Yeah,
finals,
I mean,
they
there's still next year.
have room to improve.
So I mean, yeah, I know, but
I think
yeah,
he
actually
is
Tatum. I'm gonna
interesting.
say Tatum has the most pressure.
Tatum.
Yeah.
I'd put up there in that up tier for sure.
Celtics got better this year. They have a better looking
Put
team.
him one, yeah.
I think Giannis and Dame is number 2 for me. I think they
Yeah.
have the second most pressure out of Tatum. I would agree is number 1 just because of the hate. Even though
hate
he
and
won it last
everything.
year, but like you said, the Celtics are trying to lock themselves as a real dynasty in this
Yeah.
era. And if Jason Tatum wants to be known as that guy, they have the team, so
putting
they
Tatum
got to
at
win
one.
it this year.
Yeah.
Um,
Giannis and Dame. I wasn't really thinking about that, but now that you say it, I mean, they're one of the, if not the best duo in the NBA.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, Dame is getting up there in age. Giannis has been in Milwaukee for so long.
But that's why.
If they
It's
lose, if the Bucks lose in the first round this year, where do they go? They don't
Giannis
have
is
any
gone.
young guys on their
Giannis said he
team.
wants to leave, right? Like if they don't make the finals, I think I heard.
So that means I'd put them at 1 then.
He said Giannis, I think Giannis said that he wants to leave after he said, I'm not leaving anywhere.
It is different pressure though. Like I kind of feel the same way for Kawhi and Harden. Like
Yeah. They're up there in age.
They're both up there in age. Kawhi, hasn't played a lot the last few seasons. Some people were even saying he shouldn't play anymore. And then Harden, are you just going to be known as the guy who never got a ring in your career, but you're still one of the greats? So I'd put them up there too, honestly, top 3.
Yeah. It's just tough because no one realistically thinks the Clippers are going to win it all.
Yeah.
Even though they're a scary team in the playoffs. They have the right guys.
I don't think they can win a series of games like
yeah.
that.
I don't think
I don't
Kawhi
know.
can be the best guy on a championship team anymore. I think he's just past those days.
Sorry. Giannis's exact words said, "Don't fall into your comfort zone. I don't want to stay in my comfort zone." And this was after being asked about your future with Milwaukee.
I could see him
Giannis
leaving if they
also came out and said though he would never request a trade. So that makes it difficult.
That was before this was said.
That makes me feel like Giannis is going to be a Buck for life though, because why the Bucks would never, even if they lose in the first round, that's not.
But
they're not going to trade.
You're also
Giannis.
not going to get as much as if you're really trying to rebuild. You're not going to get as much for Dame as you probably would for Giannis.
No, for sure. But you're never going to get another guy, even if you do rebuild, that's as good as Giannis, as
I mean, but
what Milwaukee has. It's Milwaukee.
It's Milwaukee.
No one's going to Milwaukee.
No one's going.
Yeah.
Milwaukee sucks.
Yeah.
Except for Dame. Dame went to Milwaukee.
Well,
They
they
traded for him.
him on for
He wanted to go to Miami.
Portland traded him to Milwaukee on purpose. They were
Yeah.
like, no Miami.
No Miami for you. Well, another guy who I think it's tough, but he definitely has a lot more pressure than a lot of people would expect coming into the year. Donovan Mitchell.
That one's
Don.
interesting
Yeah,
to me because
Donovan
he's
Mitchell.
also the 1 seed. They've been the 1 seed all
Yeah.
year, so it's like, what are you going to do in the playoffs now? So yeah, I would agree
Yeah.
for sure
I
that
count-
he's up there.
I want to
think
give that to him.
if the Cavs, like every other team, if they lose in the second round, that's a really disappointing playoffs for them.
Yeah.
Having the best record in the league all year and then losing in the second round, that would be really tough for them
That's
to
what
go through.
The Nuggets did that last year.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Last year, everyone thought they were going to go back to back.
T-Wolves took him out.
Yeah, that was a fun series. Well, another guy who I think has a lot of pressure is Jimmy Butler. He's known as a playoff riser, but we've never seen him on a team with someone that's better than him.
Yeah.
And it's really going to show this playoffs if he is locked in and if he is really as good as everyone has always said he is in the playoffs.
I kind of agree with that, but I think a lot of pressure gets taken off of him.
You think it's more on Steph?
I think it's more on Steph.
I mean, Steph is more solidified, though.
Well, he's more solidified, but
They can miss the
It's not-
playoffs
it's
and
nothing
Steph's
like-
legacy doesn't change.
yeah, I'm not saying they're gonna it's Steph's fault if they lose or anything.
Yeah.
But will Steph show out like this with the new player like Jimmy on the team?
Yeah.
Because it's a brand not a brand new team, but it's like they haven't really brought in a star like this middle of the season for a while.
Yeah.
So I mean Jimmy, obvious playoff baller, but will Steph Curry be able to do it when he has another star that next to him?
I think it's Jimmy and Steph, to be honest. I'd put a slash
I don't think
in that.
Steph has pressure,
Just
though.
because, Steph, it's how many more years are you going to stay as a Warrior? Draymond
He's
said,
gonna be a Warrior for life.
Draymond said I know, but how many more years is he going to play? Draymond said they got Jimmy Butler, and he was like, I looked at Steph, and Steph kind of looked at me and was like, this is the last ride type. And they started talking like that. So, I mean, I would, if you really want that ring and he wants to, pat, or he wants to tie LeBron, right? It'd be at 5 and 5.
They're both at 4.
Oh, they're both have.
They're
Oh,
both
you
at
want
4.
to pass LeBron? You want to make the LeBron era the Curry era? I
Hey.
think that's a little bit of But
That's a
I
good
would say
point.
it is more on Jimmy. He doesn't have that yet. He's been the best player on some good playoff teams, but
Yeah.
he's never won. So
That's a good point. Well, that's going to close out today's episode of Beam City Sports on 96.5. A very fun one, man.
Yeah.
Um,
Lots of debates, lots of talking.
yeah, well,
I mean, usually.
sad moment,
See how
though. We
talk
only
radio
have
goes.
3 more live radio shows after today, 3 more Wednesdays, and then we will just be turning into a straight podcast. Then we will go live on YouTube, though, every week.
Live
So,
on YouTube.
Yeah, going to start going live on YouTube in 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
What up, YouTube?
We'll start on YouTube. So we'll be
Cheers.
back next week. Cheers.